Welcome back to the channel. This is D-Dub, and today we are checking out Boxboy for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm just right at the beginning here, and I've never played Boxboy before. I know there's two other games in the series, or the franchise, and I've never checked them out. I didn't really know they were a thing until the most recent Nintendo Direct, where a lot of people were hyped for it. I saw a lot of people in the chat saying that they'd played it before, and then a lot of people just had no idea what it was, and it was highly recommended by a lot of people. I did play the demo, actually, just a couple weeks ago, and then I saw that this came out, and for 10 bucks I figured, why not? I like puzzle games. This just seems kind of like a basic type of puzzle game, and it actually looked like it would get pretty interesting and pretty intricate and pretty brain straining at some point, because in the trailer you could see by the end of the game that with this box here you'll be producing like dozens of blocks. So there'll be some tricky parts, tricky platforming. This is a puzzle platformer. And so you can see that it gets, yeah, pretty interesting and pretty intricate and pretty thought-provoking, kind of brain-straining. And I like these types of games. You know, I don't really play them often, but occasionally, you know, a good puzzle game is a good puzzle game, and that's what this seems like it is. So here we're checking it out, and you can see we got World 1, Stage 3. Then, yeah, you just kind of go through and do each level. So as you see here, you're this cute little box, and you can duplicate yourself in order to get over these little canyons and, you know, drop spots where if you fall into, I'm not sure exactly what happens. Let's try that out now. I'm gonna fall into the hole and see just what happens when I do that. So far I've gone just through a couple levels, and with each one I'm increasing the amount of blocks that I can use to climb higher and bigger gaps and get collectibles and stuff, just like this crown here, which that is the key for the end of every level. And so far I like the music. You can see here that's a catchy little jingle, and the sound effects are good. It's a really basic aesthetic with just this black and white square, but you know, he's got eyes and legs. And I know in the trailer that there was ones dressed up differently, so I'm guessing there's a store of some sort. So in a minute we're gonna check that out. The further the stage, the more the bigger the gaps are, and the more brain power you have to actually use to figure out how to get out of here. Okay, so if I jump down there, I'm not going to be able to get back out, so I need to go like this. Just like that. Oh! So as you can see here, at the end of each level you get a clear bonus, and then there's a target bonus for the allotted amount of bricks that you use, or squares, to get over every obstacle. So each level has a limit. So here I have a box limit of 4, so I could have just used 3 there, and I know at the end of each level, if you use just 3, 3 blocks just to get over something like that, then you get that credited towards you at the end, and that gives you extra points, which are used for the store. And the store is mainly just an aesthetic thing. But while this is a basic platformer, puzzle platformer, it seems as you go further, there are definitely things to collect, the costumes to collect. And I'm not sure really of what else there would be in terms of collecting, but there is also a story to this, and it's kind of a sad one. So as you can see, this family of happy, peaceful little squares, they're just minding their own business. They're just having a nice day, walking through some doors. You obviously got the father on the right, because he's blank. And something has just landed from the sky. What is that? This is like intergalactical, like, dark matter. No! What is happening? So, there you have it. That's the intro. So that is the stage for everything that the game is based off of. So for it being just a puzzle platforming game, we actually have a pretty in-depth story here. So let's see what happens. So you can be both boy and girl. You can go back through the door. Let's see the targets. So as you see here, you go through each level and you have things to clear. So clear using a max of 4 boxes just to get through this level. I'm gonna go ahead and try that right now and see if I can do that. Now I'm guessing as you get up in the ranks and up in the skill level that you will have many more blocks to use in each level and a higher tolerance for how many you can use, or actually a lower tolerance for how many blocks you can use. So let's see, I've just used 3 blocks, I believe. So boxes use 3 instead of 4. So I will get 1 of these stopwatch block credits. I guess it's a credit. So let's go ahead and check out the store. So here we are at the store. We have comics, we have music we can buy, we have assist items that we can buy, invincibility, jump, increases your jump power. I don't know if that's just for one single jump or if that's for a whole level, but we also have a balloon challenge. And over here we have a gumball machine time capsule machine, kind of like a Yoshi's Crafted World. So we got 3 special draws. So let's see, we got a smiley mouth, and free draw number 2 that was given to us is going to be an eye patch so that we can be a pirate. And let's see what the 3rd one has. We have glasses, and I don't know how many of these credits I have, so I won't. Yeah, alright, I'll draw one. I'll buy one since they gave me 3 free ones. So we got a chef hat. And that's cool. You see the this little square here, as he changes his clothes, he goes behind the curtain. So I can give him the chef hat and the pirate patch, or the glasses and a funny smile. So that's pretty cool. I kind of like this. These are not normally the type of games that I play, but I will give it to them that this is a pretty charming, pretty basic puzzle game. But I like it, and I know that it's made by HAL Laboratory, and they produce, you know, very good games. So in a similar vein, this is another one of those kinds of games. So I just wanted to take a look at it with you guys and go through a couple levels and just give you my thoughts on it. So far, I think this is the kind of game that will actually draw me in. Now, I know that there's, I think, like 250 levels, 240 levels. So this is probably the kind of game that I would play just casually here and there. Although later, I probably will be putting some more time into this after I put this video up. And normally, this isn't the kind of game that I play. So as you see there, my brain power wasn't quite good enough, and I wasn't planning good enough, so I was not able to get the crown, so I will have to be going back through the level again to complete getting that crown. I don't know exactly what they call that. I guess that's the key to the door. So we'll go to the next level here, and I just wanted to give you a quick look at some of these levels and see if you could get a feel for it just as I am, and see if this is the kind of game that would interest you. Now, this is not, like I said, this is not the kind of game that I normally would play, but I more than likely will be putting a bit of time into it, and it does have 240 levels. And this is the type of game that I will play for a little bit and then put down and then come back to it at a later date and probably put more time into it than I thought that I would. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. This is just not the type of game that I am used to. So if I go ahead and hold this, I will get a hint here. So it has the hints built in for, obviously, when you get to those harder spots, which I'm sure at some point I might be completely stumped, because depending on what side of the platform you're on and how big the pit is, sometimes you're going from here to up here and there's just one block in between. So figuring out how to get the crown if you have two platforms and then the little crown is up here and you need that to finish the level, figuring out how to get from here to the little block and then figure out how to get the crown without jumping back to the ground or trying to get back to here so that you can climb up and get to the platform that's up there can be a bit of a challenge. And then when you start getting to these levels where you have 15 different blocks to use, I could see where the actual challenge and level of skill comes in. And then we have things like this where you have to hit a little button in order for that gap to turn into solid ground so that you can get over it. So I'm not sure what kind of other mechanics are going to be put into this game, but I'm sure there's several curveballs that will be thrown here, and that will definitely add new flavor to this game and to the mechanics so that it doesn't just end up being the same thing over and over. And I do like that about this kind of game, because it's not just the same thing that's just going to be over and over and you just get burnt out on it really fast. It's, you know, something that is a little bit more in depth for something that is basic. And I think that's a great way for developers to approach this kind of game, is to not just take the one idea and just run it into the ground. So we're going to go ahead and go through one more stage here. So as you see, you can also add blocks, and then when you press X, it makes them disappear. Almost thought I didn't get it there. Boom. With my little smiley face, I look like a cute little Pop-Tart with a chef hat. So even the character models, even though as basic as they are and it's just a black and white square, they've done a pretty good job with the customization, and I look forward to seeing what other kinds of cute little hats or mustaches or whatever that they have in the store, and to see just how many of them you can buy and just how many variations that they've actually done here. So guys, just a little quick look here at Boxboy, Boxgirl for the Nintendo Switch. Just wanted to give you some quick thoughts on it and see what I thought of it, which I gotta say, I actually like this game. I will be playing a bit more of it, and I'll see how many hundreds of levels I can get into before wanting to maybe throw the Switch across the room, because it sure seems like it can get to that point. Having a gap here and being on this side versus this side, you really have to think differently about which direction you're putting the blocks, and you can start them from going under you to over to down, or you can do it up above you, and as I'm sure you've seen in some of the gameplay, it gets a little bit tricky. So this is just a cool, cute, fun, not graphically intense puzzle platformer, and it's a pretty good game from what I see. I like the aesthetic of it, the look, you know, it has a little bit of a story behind it, nice music, it's catchy, and then customization between going through the store and buying different items, and you know, just cute, cool little upgrades for your little Pop-Tart square. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. If you guys like the channel, hit subscribe, hit the like button or the not like button, and yeah, I will catch you guys on the